is Design Director Brian Douglas, and it is Saturday, January 10th. Happy New Year to all of you. We are ready to get started with our Saturday at Home webcast. Have an action-packed morning ready to go for all of you. And so, again, please grab a notepad, a pen, a glass of water, anything you need to be comfortable for the next 2 hours. And just try to eliminate any distractions so you can really focus here. We've got a lot of great stuff to cover with you this morning. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do real quick is congratulate some brand new achievers last night, late into the night. Marcus and Tessa Romero hit achiever, and I have their names here as Marcus and Tessa Romero, but the really cool thing about this is their wedding is actually a week from today. They are getting married next Saturday in Las Vegas, where they're from, Las Vegas, and also Cedar City, Utah area. And so this is really an exciting deal. I mean, to think about everything they've got going on in their lives with their crazy jobs and planning a wedding. This reminds me a lot of when Jennifer and I first started USANA. I've told them that several times, their story. And they are an up-and-coming powerhouse. Last week, they personally sponsored over 8 new preferred customers in their business. Earned a check over $400, became achievers. And so what a way to start their new life together. Very, very excited for them. They actually attended the Eric Worre GoPro event with us in Las Vegas just a couple of months ago. And they won one of the passes in a contest I was having that I gave away. And I really wanted them to both be there. So as an early wedding gift, I gave them another ticket into the event. And I think that gift has really paid off for my personal business. So seeing their success, I'm very, very happy for them, and just seeing everything that they're doing. And that's the power of these kind of events. And that's why I thought it was so important that they were both there. You know, usually if a couple is involved with USANA and one of them goes to a big event but the other one doesn't, they just are out of sync a little bit. They don't both get it. And so I am so happy that they both made that, and they are putting into practice the things they learned at that event. And they've been growing their business, and so is their team. So, again, I'm really proud of you guys. Congratulations. And I'm going to see them in a couple of days in Las Vegas. And then congratulations on the upcoming wedding. And I look forward to many more rank advancements for you guys together. So what I want to do real quick is give you a little bit of an overview. I want to kind of just share a few things over the next 25 or 30 minutes here as I go through this. Kind of paint the vision of 2015. Some things have happened. Now, I've been involved with USANA for almost 20 years. In fact, the 11th here will be my 18th year anniversary since the last day of ever having a job, leaving corporate America behind. And this is the second time USANA has ever done anything quite like this. But this one was even quite a bit different. They called all the North American Diamond directors and IDC members into the office December 14th through the 16th, flew us in, took I drove in, but everybody else they flew in, took great care of us, put us up in the Grand America Hotel. We got checked in, that night, had a great reception. There was about 140 people that were at this event. Had a great reception that night and a dinner. At the dinner we had Dr. Wentz, Dave Wentz, Kevin Guest, Dan Masuga, Doug Braun, Dennis Waitley, and several other key management members. But there's a lot of the team members here, part of our group, that were all at this event, had a great time. And then the next day, on Monday, they got us over to the corporate office where we had a private meeting with the key management. And they shared with us the things that are going to be happening, the vision, the future of USANA. And I'll tell you that one of the things that's kind of frustrating for me this morning is the things they shared with us at this event, as well as at a special webcast this last Thursday. And we had to sign confidentiality agreements. Because we're a publicly traded company, they had to do that. So I can't share everything with you. But all I can tell you is that I have never been more excited about building a USANA business in my entire life. They not only shared the vision with what they're doing, with some incredible breakthroughs they're working on as it relates to our products that will revolutionize not just our opportunity, but the health and wellness industry altogether. Some huge, huge scientific breakthroughs. As you know, USANA is a very scientific company. We're not a marketing company. We're not, a network marketing company. We are a scientific research company that happens to move our products through network marketing. And that's where we come in as the field. But USANA Corporate, they focus on the products, and that's really their job, and that's what sets us apart from the competition. And so they have been working on it with the research funds that they have, with all the scientists that they have on staff, all the different PhDs, working on something for some time that is going to be some breaking news in this industry. So all I'm going to tell you is get everything in order in your USANA business and get ready to rock your business like you never have. In addition to this, they gave us the opportunity, this is Matt Ryan here, they gave us the opportunity to tell them what we need from them. So I started thinking about this. What kind of a company flies their top incomers in, takes good care of them, tells us this future, and then says, oh, by the way, we're giving you the world, now what else do you need from us? And that's how I feel about USANA, is they just keep giving and giving and giving and taking good care of us. And as much as I love the semi-retired life I've had over the last 15 years with USANA, as I worked my business really hard and then took a lot of time off, I'm losing sleep again. I'm so excited that I can't help but wanting to get back to work and go out and get into the trenches again with a lot of you. So I'm excited about that. They did another really cool thing at this event where it was actually quite an honor, and they surprised a lot of us. But there's been a lot of talk around the executive levels for golds and above, and this is where you work not just to have a rank advancement, but to build a solid business. And so if you're a gold director, you have to maintain that for 13 weeks in a row as an average. If you're a ruby director, the same thing, all the way up through diamond director and into star diamonds. And so what they did was they came up with the foundation executive diamond level, which was really cool. They recognized a lot of us that day at the event, and in fact, this is what you have to do to become a foundational executive diamond. You have to be a diamond director or above for a minimum of 10 years. You have to have earned over $100,000 in commission for 10 years straight. You have to remain recognition qualified, which just basically means you're in good standing with compliance. And you have to attend the international convention at least once in the last couple of years. Fortune 25 or Growth 25. And so there were 31 distributorships in North America that qualified, and there's several others that are just knocking on the door. But there's the picture of the folks from North America. 41 distributorships that qualified worldwide for this new rank at Foundational Diamond. And so basically, it's something that we just don't have to requalify for every year. It gives us a little bit of latitude there to retire a little bit if we want to. Don't have to keep doing that. And they just said that we know that you guys were pioneers to help us build our USANA business, and so we want to take care of you. And so there's just a lot of perks at all the events and different things, basically access to anything we need from the company. So this was really quite an honor, and something we're going to be talking a lot more about, but I wanted to share that with you here first. But by the time we got done with this whole event, we all felt like it was about to be a day one opportunity. Imagine knowing that you had a company that was going to be as successful as USANA, that you had a company that was going to be debt-free, that was going to be doing close to $1 billion in sales this year and beyond, that was going to be opening in over 20 countries, that was going to have life-changing products, but it was the first day that company launched. It's kind of like opening up a new market, going into a new country. There's just a whole different level of excitement, and that's the excitement that's going to be happening. Now, the big breakthroughs they're working on are not going to be ready for maybe even before around convention, maybe after convention. They're not going to launch these things until everything's been tested, everything's been proven, everything is right. And so I hate to get you all excited and say, wait. All I'm saying is that if you wait to get your business going until these big breakthroughs, you'll still do good. But if you get going right now and you build a huge group of people who are going to be as excited as you're going to be when they make these announcements, probably sometime in the fall of 2015. But if they get them done before then, they're not even going to wait for convention. Whenever they're ready, they're going to launch them. And so if you really get your team in order right now and you build a group of people who are trained and they're excited, when this thing happens, your business will absolutely explode. And that's what I want you to understand is don't wait for all this. You're not going to hear a lot about it because, again, we're publicly traded until it happens. I can't go into any more details than this, but all I'm saying is get ready, get your business ready, and make this a priority. And then on the next night, or that night actually, Monday night, they took us to, they rented out a whole nightclub, had a private dinner for us, and a private concert. All of a sudden, country music star Colin Ray pops up on the stage and does a whole concert for us. And I mean, it was just an absolutely awesome time. So I really want to encourage you to work your way up the ranks and take advantage of the perks that USANA has. And then this last Thursday, they announced a special Diamond webinar where basically everybody who was at this meeting back in December also was invited back onto this webinar just the day before yesterday. And again, confidentiality agreements I can't share, but this was a whole nother thing they were working on. They couldn't share with us back in December that they had finalized now with all the contractual agreements and everything else. And there's a whole nother huge deal that's going to be announced. This thing is actually going to be announced within about the next week and a half or so. And so, again, this is another big, big announcement, not related to the other one that's happening later on in the fall, but still incredibly big, incredibly big. And so they are taking good care of us to help us really get our 2015 kicked off. Take advantage of it, folks. It's coming. It's here. And so what I want to do is spend a few minutes. You know, last time on our webinar, we talked about kind of the whole year, putting 2015 out with all these major events and everything going on, and how to help plan your calendar and get prioritized as to what you should attend depending on your goals and where you're located and all that. And so you should have all that information from the last Saturday at Home webinar that we did. But I want to talk to you for just a few minutes about the things that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. And so the next 2 weeks, USANA is launching the New Year, New You Tour in over 50 cities. You should be able to get on the hub and look and see if there's one near you. And I know all the online ticket sales are already wrapped up. And so it's registration still available at the door. I know there's room at these events at the door. Some ticket sales went through the roof. Others, you know, the people needed to do a lot better job of promoting, like we talked about on our last webinar, being in the promotion business. But there's still tickets available at the door, so take advantage of that. I want to highlight just a couple of these because I know we have a lot of people on the call from some specific areas like Utah, Nevada, and also Texas. And so some of these I want to highlight real quick. I'll be flying into Las Vegas Wednesday of this week on the 14th to help with the New Year, New You Tour in Vegas, hosted by Phil Weir, and I'll be doing the associate training there. So make sure you're there if you guys are in Vegas. I'll be there for about 24 hours, then coming back to Salt Lake City to help out there. And then Corpus Christi on the 15th, on Thursday, Corpus Christi. We've got a great crew of folks represented on this call that'll be also hosting and putting on that event. And then on Friday in Austin, Texas, with the Sosas, excellent leaders, gold directors in our team in Austin that'll be doing that, along with Linda Watson. And then on to Houston, Texas on Saturday. They're doing one at 9 in the morning. Now, Saturday's going to be a busy day, folks. Look at this. In Houston, Texas, we've got one. And then I'll be back here in Salt Lake City helping out with Russ Barton and Raylan Rushton to do the tour here in Salt Lake City at the World Headquarters. And then Saturday night from 2 to 5, the afternoon 2 to 5 in San Antonio, Texas with the Penrods. And so take advantage of the New Year, New You tours. Also, as we know, the Reset Challenge was just launched earlier this week with the big call with Dr. Oz. I hope you were all on that. Get your prospects going on this challenge. And the Sexy Slim Down Challenge starts today. I've had a lot of questions come in, so I want to spend just a second answering a couple questions on the Sexy Slim Down Challenge. One question that we've got a few times is, if somebody's a host, can they also be part of the challenge? The answer is absolutely yes. And then also I've had a few people say, well, what if they can't weigh in till Monday or Tuesday? They can't weigh in today on the 10th. That's okay. They can weigh in anytime during the challenge. They just obviously have less time to lose weight if they get a later start. But they can still sign up and weigh in later on with that. All the details at sexyslimdown.com. So again, that officially kicks off today. And then something coming up right around the corner in San Antonio, Texas. This is not just for people in Texas. I know we have a crew of folks from Vegas that are flying in for this. But if you're anywhere that is a quick flight or a driving distance, or you want to go no matter where you're at, Challenge U is wide open to all of you. We had a very successful one in Salt Lake City back in the fall, and just had rave reviews. And so this is our lineup for Challenge U. We have 3-star Diamond Director Brian Morris, 5-star Diamond Directors Brian and Monica Penrod, 1-star Diamond Director Matt Ryan, Ruby Director Chris Harrell, USANA scientist Dr. Brian Dixon will be joining us, helping you understand products and product belief and everything there. 2-star Diamond Director Dr. Paige Hunter, I'll be there of course, and Emerald Director Brian Bulkey, Mike Miller, Ruby Director, plus several local Gold Directors and above that will be helping out with this event. I want to give a special thanks to Gold Director Linda Duke. She's done a lot of behind-the-scenes work to help us negotiate contracts and everything with the hotel. Has done a lot of things on several of our conference calls in the planning stages of this. So thank you so much, Linda. If you guys are from Texas, please thank Linda for all her hard work. She's always such a great team player. But as you can see, early registration, there's still another 8 days available for that. We got the price down as low as we could get. We want all of you to take advantage of early registration. And then we'll go into regular registration and late registration like it says here. All the details are at www.challengeu.com. That's challengeuevents.com. So that's challenge, just the letter U, and then events.com will take you to all the details. You can pull up flyers, you can register, you can get all the details that you have from this. We also have negotiated, thanks to Linda again, some great deals on people who will be traveling in or want to stay at the hotel. Normally $134 a night down to $89 a night. So if you want to stay at the Holiday Inn Airport with us there, you're welcome to. But take advantage of this. It's going to be a huge event. Thursday, Health and Freedom. All day Friday and Saturday training from 9:30 to 5. And we are going to bring it, folks. So I really encourage you to be at this event. It's going to be a life-changing event. And so I want to spend just a few minutes updating you on a couple of things before we get kicked off with USANA's conference call here and pipe that into the system. The first thing is, as a lot of you know, we are transitioning from the old income maximizer system that USANA's had for several years. It was a great system, but it's kind of run its course, and we're ready to transition over to the hub. If you're brand new, you're probably only seeing the hub. But if you've been around for a while, we all know how much we resist change, and it's time to embrace that change, folks. And so USANA originally said they'd be taking this down in early January. They know the hub's up and running, it's ready. They're working a few little things out or trying to get a few other things done with it, but it's working great. If you have some concerns or you see any things with it, make sure you report those. It's all available to do right on the website there on the hub. But they are going to leave access via the hub to the old system until sometime in March for those of us that are struggling with change. And so I want to encourage you to start embracing that, move your stuff over to the hub so that when that happens, it's not a huge culture shock for you. But I did want to give you an update because I knew some of you were freaking out a little bit about turning off the old system here this week that they've extended through March. So get everything in order there. I've also had some questions come in regarding the price adjustments. So you probably all got an email. This is an email that I got back a couple weeks ago that talked about a price adjustment that will be going into effect on January 24th. Now, we all see what's going on out there in the world, everything except for the cost of gas, which is nice, but I hear that's a problem as well down the road. Everything is going up. It was just, we've had a lot of inflation over the last several years. USANA's not immune to that. They hate price increases just as much as we do, but when their suppliers increase raw ingredients, and the cost of raw ingredients like vitamin E, it went up over 200% for USANA for this next year. They're going to have a slight price increase. I have not seen the price list yet. It is coming out soon, so we'll all be notified and have access to that and see what's going on. But from what I understand, it only affects a few products. I know it's going to affect things that have vitamin E, so that's going to be basically the essentials and the health pack, anything the essentials are in. But I know that they've worked really hard to keep that to a minimum and absorb as much of that as they can in-house. I still want you to know, I don't even remember if it was, I want to say it was over $50. I bet you Mike Miller knows, but it was like essentials when we first got involved almost 20 years ago were around $60 for essentials. Essentials today have more ingredients, patented things like Olivol that didn't exist back then, that were very expensive to create, more ingredients, more potent, more documentation, pharmaceutical grade, ranked #1 in the comparative guide, and they're less expensive today than they were when we first joined. A lot of that is because the facility that USANA built about 5 or 6 years after I got involved, or as I was getting involved, 5 or 6 years after they started the company, is when they built our current facility with state-of-the-art manufacturing and the volume we were getting to, negotiating better deals with suppliers. They actually had a major price decrease at that time because Dr. Wentz is all about keeping the prices as low as possible so he can make the essentials available for as many people, because as we all know, Dr. Wentz, as much as he supports us and loves what we do, his motives are not about a USANA business. His motives are about providing the world with the finest nutritional products and keeping the prices down so as many people can get on his products as possible. That's what makes our business so great, but that is his focus, and so he's doing everything he can to keep the products down. In fact, while I'm on the topic of Dr. Wentz, something I didn't mention earlier when I was talking about these breakthroughs is, you know, Dr. Wentz founded this company. He's always involved with any of our product enhancements and changes. He always approves every change with the products. Everybody, answers to him when it comes to the products. But it's been I can remember when I first got involved, when I would be down at USANA and I'd see his Cadillac parked in the parking lot, and he was there all day in the lab. He's been back in the lab. He's involved with these big updates and things that they're working on the products, and so it's going to be huge, folks. So another thing I want to do real quick, just while we're waiting, we've got a few more minutes until the conference call starts, is if you haven't started using the Rise of the Entrepreneur DVD, I really want to suggest that you get some of these. You can go to Eric Worre's site, networkmarketingpro.com, and you can buy these DVDs. I bought a bunch of them in bulk. You have to buy 100 of them from him to get them for $5 each. He suggests buy them in bulk from him and share them with your team. So we got a bunch in bulk. Instead of you having to get 100 of them, you can get 25 of them from me if you want for the same price, or go to his website and get them at 100 if you want for the $5 each for $500. But you can even share the 25 pack with your team, as a lot of you are doing. I do still have some of these left. If anybody wants to text me, my direct cell phone number is there, 801-243-0817. If you want to text me, I can help facilitate that. I have my kids fulfilling these orders and helping out there. And so just to help spread the savings around and save everybody some money, we bought a bunch of these in bulk to help put these out. But I'm having tremendous success. I know we have some brand new associates on the webcast with us, Dan and Stephanie Bazan, that they're brand new. And what was really nice, the way we're using this DVD, is I'm having watch this movie, this documentary, for a few minutes beforehand, and they're actually I'm having them watch this the night before or before we meet for a Health and Freedom presentation, and this documentary does a great job of really getting the objection or the concern of network marketing out of the way. This has, I mean, not only Eric Worre on it, but Paul Zane Pilzer, economists, Harry S. Dent, Les Brown, Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, several of the top business minds out there around the world that are talking. When you're done with this, it's a no-brainer. And that's actually what Dan Bazan said as we met with him. He said, I felt kind of like I'd be crazy not to do something. And so it's also a great follow-up tool to send home with somebody after a Health and Freedom presentation. But anyway, we're having tremendous success with this. Let me see if this call is available here yet. Bulky, I don't know what this February 3rd text means, if you want to respond back to me on that. Dan Bazan, woot woot. Okay, awesome. All right, everybody. So as we're queuing up and getting ready for the special announcement, the special conference call, I am just waiting to hear back from Brian. Okay. So Bulky, let me know as soon as we've got some audio on the call. But there is a big announcement today. It's a promotion that they let us in on the webcast on Thursday. And so they're going to announce this special promotion that's going to help us all really get our business launched here in 2015 and get things kicked off. You're all going to be excited about it. It's going to be something that you can use personally, every one of you, to help get your prospects excited about joining really quick here over the next 4 weeks as this promotion goes on. And it's great timing, something that we can piggyback off with the New Year, New You tour that will help us during those presentations as well. So after they do the announcement, you're going to hear from Diamond Director Elizabeth Ryder and 2-star Diamond Director Michael Callejas, who are members of your Independent Distributor Council. So if you're not familiar with the IDC is a group of USANA associates that once a year they're nominated, and then gold directors and above get to vote on who becomes a member of the IDC, and they serve for 1 year. They can serve up to 2 terms in a row if they want to. And our own Brian and Jacqueline Bulky are also members of the IDC. So these people spend a lot of time collecting information from us, from the field, from gold directors and above can submit stuff to Independent Distributor Council members. And these are the folks that go in and represent us at the corporate office and meet with management. And so when management has something that they want to roll out to us, they run it by the IDC first to make sure that they're not missing something that may have a negative impact on our business. And so they're getting input from the field from the IDC, the Independent Distributor Council. Also, if we have something we want corporate to do, what happens is we run that through the Independent Distributor Council. That way, corporate gets one voice from the field and any major kind of a change instead of having 100 different leaders call corporate, and corporate's trying to please them all, and they're going different directions, and some things are contradictory to each other, and corporate's spending a lot of money, and it ends up creating a lot of confusion and unhappy people. So the IDC was developed over a decade ago to help us with our growth. A lot of people have been part of that IDC, served under the task forces, and again, they are all sworn to a confidentiality agreement, and so just one of the things we have to do as a publicly traded company. And so these people know a lot about the direction of what we're doing, and you're going to be hearing from, we're going to pipe in Michael Callejas and Elizabeth Ryder after we get the big announcement here. So the reason we don't know exactly when this call is going to start is, from what I understand, it's supposed to be starting in 1 minute, and it is going to be piped in live from the New You. That's really a tongue twister. New Year, New You, that's going on in New York. So now you got NY. New You, New Year, New You, New York going on this morning. And they won in New York. They actually have Kevin Guest out there, several key management, Dr. Dennis Whaley and Dr. Brian Dixon, putting on their tour based off of the contest USANA had back in the fall for enrollments. So New York was one of the cities that won that, and USANA's out there doing that, and they're going to pipe this call in live from New York here. So we're waiting for us to get some audio on that call, and Brian Bulky's piping that in, so he's working on that. One thing that I really want to encourage all of you to do is work on your invitation skills. And so as you have people who you want to invite to these upcoming presentations, that's what you need to get really, really good at. That's hopefully what you're going to hear from on the call here in a few minutes, some skills that will help you with that. But I would get super good at, I'd role play it, I'd work with your upline, gold directors and above, and get very proficient at inviting people to events, prospects to events, and also get really good at getting your team to these events. After the call, you're going to hear from Chris Harrell and Brian Bulke. Chris has been doing an excellent job going out and talking to his team members who have been, some of them that are cranking, some of them that have been a little dormant, and touching base with them. It's not just our prospects that are going through and having their New Year's resolutions and evaluating their life right now, and maybe a good time for them to join a USANA business. It's our associates that maybe have been on the products, haven't done a lot with the business, that they've been evaluating their lives, and it may be a great time for them to engage their business. Or somebody who started building a business 2, 3, 4 years ago, and then life got in the way, and they ended up getting sidetracked, and checking back with them to see if they're ready to go and start building a business. So Chris is going to walk you through some role playing of how to do that. He's having tremendous success reaching out to people on his team. You know, there's an old saying that it's easier to give birth than it is to resurrect the dead. And that's a saying we talk about a lot when it comes to prospecting, that don't spend time dragging people with you. Work with those who want it, and go out and keep building your business with people and find new people who want it. But there's definitely a lot of value. It doesn't mean let go of your people. And Chris is going to show you a great way and how exactly he's reaching out to his people to not drag them across the finish line or try to resurrect the dead, but check in with his team and see if it's a better time to get started. So check my text here. Looks like we're just about ready to get on the call.
Here's a special announcement. You know, we're kicking off New Year, New You. I'm actually standing in my hotel room overlooking Times Square in New York right now. And we've kicked off the morning with Kevin Guest and Dennis Waitley and Brian Dixon. And right now, I just stepped out of a meeting, all in Chinese, which is really exciting. Here in New York, and we are excited as we kick off into this new year. And what we want to do is be able to help you and support you in your business, and being able to go out there. And I know you've invited people to participate in the Reset Challenge, and I know you invited people to attend the New Year, New You, or you have other local meetings going on, whether that be in your home or local hotels or meeting space, wherever you're at. And so we want to make sure that we can help you with maybe enticing those individuals to take them to the next level and transition over either from maybe a product user or maybe getting them started in the business right. And so very exciting news for you this morning, as we are going to be launching for the next 4 weeks. You and your teams will have the opportunity to bring in new associates with a free starter kit. So that's right, they can get started with the free BDS. And so being able to transition them over and get them going and offer them a free BDS in order to take them to the next step and get them going and building their business and being business partners with you. And so very excited to be able to offer that to you. Those dates will go January 10th through February 6th. So if you're planning on coming to Sweet Retreat, you want to make sure that you get those people in the system before you head off to Sweet Retreat. But January 10th, so starting today until February 6th, you will have free starter kits for 4 weeks. What I'm hoping to see is that this will help transition as you invite people to the New Year, New You kickoff meetings, or whether you're inviting them to some of the Reset webinars, and then maybe transitioning them over to the next step in helping them get started. And who doesn't want to save money, especially at the beginning of the year and as you're getting to start a business? So I hope that helps each and every one of you. And what I've asked is, we have 2 of our IDC members on the call with us this morning, and I've asked them to talk to you a little bit about how they are using this with their teams and in their business, to give you some ideas to help you as you're training your teams on what they can do, or as you're looking for ways that you can get people started in this business, and encouraging them to maybe take that leap of faith or that step into the right direction. And so what I've asked is 2 of our top leaders This morning we have our top grower and also diamond director. She's a member of our US IDC. And so I've asked Elizabeth Ryder to join us on the call this morning. So Elizabeth, are you there?
I am here. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I'm going to turn the time over to you.
Okay, thank you, Lori, and good morning, everyone, and happy New Year. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting in my office in Bozeman, Montana, looking at about 4 feet of snow in my backyard in the beautiful mountains, which is amazing. So a little different than where Lori's at. I was so excited when Usana told us about this because sometimes you might think that $30 might be insignificant when someone's signing up for the business, but it's not. And I'm going to tell you guys how I plan to use this with my team. So I've got 3 points, and the first one is that you need to use this promotion to follow up with anyone who is in your pipeline who has been thinking about joining. We all have our list of people who we've already talked to, who maybe are on the fence about joining, still trying to make a decision. And everybody wants to save a little bit, like Lori said, especially at the beginning of the year. So I plan to contact everyone on my follow-up list. And I've been using the Customer Connect in the new Hubby Guide. It's a fantastic follow-up list to maintain all the people who you need to follow up with. And let them know that when they sign up now, between now and February 6th, they're going to get a free starter kit, which is essentially saving them $30. And I'm going to tell them that it's really important to do it this week, not wait until February 6th, because then that gives them 4 weeks for anybody who they sign up to get a free starter kit. Because they want to be able to pass the savings on to whoever they sign up as well. And if they sign up at the very end, then they won't have as much time to sign up their own people. So that's a great way to help nudge those people who are like really on the fence about joining and you know are about to make it, actually sign up for the business. The second way to use this, which is absolutely amazing, is obviously we have in January the Reset Challenge is so popular. We have the New Year, New You event. Usana has a fantastic Reset and Transform kit under product specials. So anyone who's wanting to change their lifestyle, lose some weight, and use the Usana shakes and bars to do that, I have them do that Reset combo pack it comes with a 5-day reset and then comes with phase 1 where they do 2 shakes a day, a bar a day, and then other healthy meals. And then they get the essentials. There's some Rev 3 in there, and that's 311 points. So obviously, we only need 200 points in our first orders for a 1 business center and 400 for a 3 business center. So anyone who's going to sign up for that, even if they just want to be a customer, I'm going to tell them about this promotion because it costs them absolutely nothing. And those people who do that program are the most likely to want to become a referral partner for you because they're going to obviously have such a great experience with the products. They'll probably lose some weight, and people will be asking them what they're doing. You can just from the get-go get them signed up in the business, again, because it doesn't cost them anything. They're already buying the product, and then they already see a way that they can start to get their auto order paid for in the future because once they have such a great experience on the front end, they're going to want to stay on the product. So it sets up your new people who even think that they just want to be preferred customers perfectly to become a referral partner with you. And then the third thing that I want everyone to do is look in your organization, and you can do this in the hub under PC reports. Look in your organization for preferred customers in the past 3 months, maybe even 4 months, who have already ordered 200 points worth of product. Because that means they're probably likely going to order 200 points in the next month or so. And again, just like I said on point 2, someone who's already buying the products, this doesn't cost them any money, and then they can become a referral partner to actually help get their products paid for. And I actually started in the business that way. I don't know if a lot of people know that. If you guys saw me talking to Convention, I started with Carmen Marshall just as a preferred customer, and I had ordered so much product in my first order. She said, back then it was $19.95. There wasn't even a free starter kit. She said, it's only $19.95. You can become one of my referral partners. If you don't make your $19.95 back, I'll take you to, at the end of the year, I'll take you to lunch. And of course, I made my $19.95 back. So that's how I got started, just as a preferred customer, and loved the products and started referring people. So look for that in the new year, especially this time of year, you guys, because people want the reset. They want, especially the foods. They want to reduce inflammation, to get on the supplements. They want to do so many things with their New Year's resolutions. Now is the perfect time for people to become referral partners. And like I said with my first point, you always tell them you want them to join this week with this promotion so that they can take advantage of it for the next 3 weeks. So those are my best tips to use this, you guys. Happy New Year, and I will be at Sweet Retreat like with Lori. So anyone who's coming to Sweet Retreat, I can't wait to see you guys. And for everyone else, I will see you on one of our upcoming training calls.
Very good. Thanks so much, Liz. And you know, I think I'm listening to you, and you came in as a PC and transitioned over to an associate, and now it's amazing to see where your business is as you are going on your 4th year of Growth 25. Also looking and saying diamond. Liz has been a top associate enroller and a top PC enroller for the last 4 years, well, going on her 4th year as well. And so to hear that, I mean, I know many people on the phone probably have a lot of individuals just like you that love the product, but have never really taken it to the next step. And so I love the advice of reaching out to people and seeing where they're at and reconnecting and, you know, encouraging people. You say it's only $30, but still, I mean, it's $30. There's a free opportunity to come in and get your business going.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and $30 is not insignificant. It's funny, Lori, I just want to mention, I think sometimes as an associate, when we're signing people up, we know they're going to be spending, you know, especially if they buy it through Business Center, they might be spending $500, so we don't think that it is. But on the customer end, when you tell them they're going to save $30, it really makes a difference.
Hang on, everybody. It sounds like we may have lost the call. Volky, if you can hear me, see if you can repatch that in. I don't know what that happened on our end or Lori Truman's end, but we'll figure it out.
To you. How funny is that? So, Liz's husband, David, for all of you on the phone. So, thank you so much for sharing that. And I know, you know, it helps individuals as they're really looking at what they want to accomplish this year and wanting to get people started and being able to connect with people, but also being able to connect with those that are starting the Reset Challenge. There's a big opportunity with those that are doing the Transform and the Maintain. So I really want to thank Liz for joining us this morning and sharing that information with you. Now, I'm not quite sure if our next presenter is on the line. Actually, timing-wise, he's in Chicago for the Next Level U with Jordan Kemper's team. And so, Michael, are you on? Okay, he actually texted me right before the call, and he's like, I think I'm going to be up on stage. So I'm not sure quite that we'll get Michael on the call today. I apologize for that, as the agendas didn't quite work out together. But I do want to thank you all for being on the line this morning and for joining us for this great announcement. I know that it really can make a difference for you and your team in 2015. And what I want you to do is really take advantage of these free starter kits over the next 4 weeks and help people get transitioned over, help people get started. Those that you're getting signed up in the Reset Challenge, why not help them lose weight and be able to share that with their friends? And as they're sharing that with their friends, start to get their products paid for by transitioning them over and get them signed up as an associate. Liz, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we end the call? All right.
Sorry, Lori, I was muted. Sorry. Nothing else that I want to add, but just to tell people that this is the time of year to do it. This is such a great thing that USANA is doing. Thank you for doing it, and I just wish everyone such luck in the new year with their businesses, and I'm looking forward to connecting with everyone.
All right, everybody. Well, that's exciting news. We missed out on Michael Chaos there, but this is pretty big. I mean, the bottom line is everybody wants a deal. Everybody loves to save money. And one thing they didn't cover on this call is they're coming out with a coupon and a flyer that we can use, and we're gonna, as soon as we see those here hopefully sometime today or tomorrow, we will get those out to everybody on the team. But I would suggest printing up these coupons. $30. I mean, these days it's 2 cups of coffee, so that's a great thing. But I would just let people know that there's a deadline there. And I thought Elizabeth Ryder had a great point that instead of having people just wait until the end on February 6th when this thing expires and doing it at the end, if they take advantage of it right now, they can go out and become a Premier Platinum Pacesetter by enrolling their top 4 people, and those people saving $30. And so if you kind of cast a vision with your prospects today that this isn't just for them to take advantage of it, for them to save $30, this is a promotion they can use to explode their business and get Premier Platinum Pacesetter starting right off. So that's the way I would sell it to people and talk to them about it. When we get this flyer, these coupons out, we'll make sure that you guys all have access to that, and we'll make sure that it's a big part of the New Year, New You tour when we're doing these presentations around everywhere. So awesome. Just a couple things real quick on since we have a few more minutes. I'll kind of try to do some stuff that'll help you when it comes to prospecting and when I'm talking to people. When I call for prospect, and first thing I'll ask them is, do you have a quick minute? Because if I catch a prospect and they don't have time right now, they're bathing their kids, they're putting their kids down, the kids are crying, it's all about kids. Maybe they're on the phone with their boss, they're running out the door for a deadline or something like that. I don't want to talk to a prospect when I don't have their attention. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, hey, did I catch you at a good time? If it's not a time I have scheduled, I always verify it's a good time. I do that with everybody, even associates on my team, anybody I call as a common courtesy. But I always verify it's a good time if I don't have that appointment. If they told me no, something's crazy going on, hey, when's a better time for me to call you back? I've got something important I need to talk to you about. If they say, yeah, it's a good time, what's going on? I'm going to let them. I get right to the point. I don't beat around the bush and catch up with them. I let them know, man, I've got something exciting going on I've been wanting to talk to you about. Do you have a few minutes right now? Take some notes. I want to tell you what we've been doing. Have you ever heard of a company called USANA? And if they say yes, I'm going to ask them, what do you know about it? And I'm going to just talk through that. Out here in Salt Lake City, it's funny is sometimes people think Utah is like saturated because we're based in Utah. If you talk to 10 people and ask them have you ever heard about USANA, a few of them are going to say yes, they've been to a concert there because we sponsor the USANA Amphitheater. Nothing to do with what we do. And so they usually confuse there and we have to clarify. Or they've seen the building, or they say, yeah, I've heard they have really good products, or maybe I know somebody who's doing that. But 7 out of 10 people have never even heard of USANA before. And so if they say, no, what is USANA? What I believe in doing is, again, it's like recommending a movie. My job in recommending a movie to you is not to spoil the movie, is to tell you a little bit about the movie where you want to go see the movie. And so it's the same way when it comes to telling people about USANA. I don't want to do a mini presentation during my approach. That's a huge mistake a lot of people make. They say way too much. The whole goal of your approach is to simply get somebody to commit to a next exposure, which is a presentation. That's the whole goal of your approach. If you find yourself talking for more than 3 or 4 minutes or getting into all kinds of details, you've gone way too far. And so what I say is, let me tell you a little bit about them. I'm not the kind of person who says, well, I can't tell you anything because I don't want them to think I'm hiding something. So I say, let me tell you a little bit about us. We're 20 years old. We're debt-free. We're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. If they ask, I'll let them know the ticker is USNA, so you want to have that handy. This is actually on a sheet that I use and give to my new associates, stuff that I just have memorized because I've done it a lot, but I'm going to read from the sheet here. But make yourself a list of some bullet points like this. So again, they're 20 years old, debt-free, publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. They reached $3 million in sales their first year, and they're on track to do close to $1 billion this year. They're open for business in all 50 states in the U.S. and over 20 additional countries around the world. They've been ranked the #1 direct marketing company for the last 16 years in a row, and they've been featured as one of the fastest-growing companies in America by Forbes and Businessweek magazines. They're a pharmaceutical-grade manufacturer of advanced cellular nutritional products that are in high demand because they're improving people's lives. In fact, They are ranked as the #1 best nutritional product of the top 1,600 selling brands across North America in the Comparative Guide to Nutritional Supplements. Does that sound like something you want to learn more about? So all I'm doing is giving kind of these empty facts or these bullet points that add credibility to what we're doing and get the person to say, yes, I want to learn more. My yes, I want to learn more leads me to a presentation. It leads me to inviting them to New Year, New You. By the way, on the topic of the New Year, New You, real quick, I want to make sure I was on a conference call on Thursday for presenters, and they're providing us with some new slides that aren't out yet, so I haven't been able to see them, but I did call Brian Dixon and confirm that this is going to be heavily focused on weight loss. I'm not even sure if they're going to go into anything around the rest of our products, the nutritionals, the Rev, or any other things. They'll talk about the fact that you need to be on good nutritional products to help with your weight loss, but I would be prepared with a product information booklet, or what we're doing in our markets where we're doing some training afterwards. We're going to bring up the other products to make sure we're filling in the gaps. And so this is really heavy on weight loss. And so if you have somebody who wants to lose weight, this is the place to go for sure. If you have somebody who doesn't want to lose weight, they'll still relate to them a little bit about it because they'll agree with everything that we're doing if they live a healthy life around weight loss. They're in good shape. But you need to be prepared to talk about these simple, or maybe do that even ahead of time. Give you a heads up so you're not blindsided. And then, of course, there'll be a lot of good stuff about the business, and most of the places are doing a getting started training. And so, again, get with your, whether it's Chris Harrell, Brian Bulkey, Mike Miller, Matt Ryan, or if you're in my team, myself, and use whatever they use. Again, I have my little sheet here, but you want to get something that you can get in front of you that when you're doing your approach calls, you can get it out there. And to me, the script is not just about making sure I say what to say. It's about keeping me on track so I don't say too much, so I don't get rambling on about stuff, which I tend to do sometimes. Sorry about that. But you really want to be prepared. So, and use the timer. Put a timer in front of you so you can see how long you're on the phone. If you're on the phone with an approach call more than 5 minutes, it's way too long. Let them know you're busy. Let them know you're calling back in a couple of days or whatever to catch up about life or whatever. But keep your approach calls short. Get to the point. If I go on and on about how's life and everything, and oh, by the way, I've got this little thing on the side, there's no urgency, there's no enthusiasm, there's no excitement there. I call people with a purpose and get right to the point, and then, hey, this may or may not be for you, but I think you'd agree you need all the facts before you can make it an educated business decision. So come get all the details, and whether this is for you or not, it's been way too long since we've gone out fishing, golfing, whatever, had lunch. Let's get together and get caught up on family stuff soon. So that's what I do. Hopefully that helps you out. Let me see if I can advance here real quick. Take advantage of those free starter kits. The business development system is basically the same thing. It's the BDS they're talking about there. What I want to do real quick is bring up our next presenter for our Saturday at Home. Chris Harrell is a Ruby director from San Antonio, Texas, where he lives with his wife Tara and 2 beautiful children. He is a Growth 100 member, co-founder of Team Illuminate, along with Mr. Brian Bulkey, and is co-founder of 535 Wellness. He is a health and fitness expert. He is a athletic machine. I remember going skiing with this guy the first time, and by an hour, he seemed like he'd been skiing for 4 or 5 years. He was already doing extremely well. He's also a lot of fun. He's a great husband, father, a very busy person as he works a full-time job as a successful Ruby director and still makes a great income from USANA doing that. So he can relate to a lot of you that are working jobs and building a business on the side. So Chris Harrell, buddy, take it away.
All right, Brian, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, dude.
All right, cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for that introduction, Brian. Man, I tell you what, I think I just have good balance because I was going so fast down that mountain. So I think I was fortunate and blessed that I didn't fall off the mountain. But good times, my friend. Well, I hope all of you are as excited about the new year as I am. To say that I'm excited is such an understatement. The things that I know that are in process for this year, the events that have been launched to kickstart things, just the reignition that's happened throughout our organization, the people that are now finding their way, it's absolutely exciting to me. Being around as many years as we have with USANA, and as Brian had mentioned, still working a full-time thing is exciting because I see the way out. I see the just the energy that's built around what USANA's vision is for this year, and I tell you what, that is extremely motivating. So with that being said, I don't have a lot of time today to talk, so I do want to get into this and really dive in and really paint a picture for you of the major things. I think we're having some technical difficulties. Okay. About what I've been doing. Okay, 2015 is here. I know you probably have your own levels of excitement. That's why you're on the call. You're plugging into the Challenge U events. You're plugging into the Saturdays at Home. You're plugging into Money Matters calls. But here's the reality. You have an opportunity right now to get after it. You have the opportunity right now to really buckle down, because just like anything else that we know of new things that come up, they come and they go, right? The excitement around a brand new vehicle that you get, you have to actually take advantage of that right away to really capitalize on that. So as I've been talking with our members of our team and really plugging into really what the new year has in store, what I've come to realize is so many people take their mindset to a place that it's all about giving to others, and they lose sight that I have to change my life. I need to put the oxygen on myself first before I can ever go and do that, right? So make a commitment right now this year that you're going to change your life, and the byproduct of that in doing so is you're going to impact countless lives, okay? Because if, let me give you an analogy for this to sit in a little bit better. If you're an individual that is only about giving to others, and I do not want to discredit the fact of serving and giving back. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But if you're standing on a street corner and you are handing out $100 bills, and you just want to give back so bad to people, and every single person laughs at you and walks away, you're eventually going to get discouraged. But if you make it about you, you understand that I'm going to change my life, be the example to others, take advantage of all the things that are taking place to kick off this year, the sky's the limit, because there are so many opportunities for you to capitalize on, okay? So as you're thinking about that, think about who needs to improve their time, money, and health this year. Take a minute, stop and think, okay? I don't care what the relationship is for them in your life. I don't care what, if you work with them, if they go to your church, if they're family or friends or whatever it may be. Just the fact that you know these individuals, think for a minute. Who needs to improve one of these things, time, money, or health? I don't know about you, but it's every single person you know. It's every single person that you don't know. I am at a point right now that I've been watching, through the course of Facebook. I'm not obsessed with Facebook. I'm not on there all the time every single day. But I have seen so many people that I had thought at one point in my life, unlikely. They're not going to get involved in network marketing. I prejudged for whatever reason. It doesn't mean I didn't talk to them. But here's what I've seen. In the last 12 to 24 months, people are getting involved in the most ridiculous companies that I've ever seen, because they are sold on the opportunity to change their life, to take ownership, to give back, to do those kind of things that motivate them. So people are getting involved in crazy things. Why the heck shouldn't they join at you, right? You just have to be able to get out there and actually provide that solution for them. We talk about sales and things of that nature. Sales, all it is providing a solution to a need that person has, okay? So here's what people are looking for right now. Losing weight, look better, feel better, pay off debt, lower their taxes, increase their tax return, increase income. Those are necessities. So these are things that people are praying about at night or crying about when they go to bed, that they need a breakthrough. Hear that answer. There's no, without a doubt, no question about it. So what do we have an answer for that? I want you to think about the magnitude of this, okay? Dr. Oz did not come to this organization and say, I want to partner with you to conquer childhood obesity if we were not the best in every single aspect. If we had flaws in other areas, it would show up and damage his credibility. We're the best in every single aspect without fail. So people that want to lose weight, they want to look better. Do they want a diet pill? No, they want a lifestyle change. They want a simple, flawless weight management system. They want to feel better. My gosh, it's a perfect, complete, customized nutrition system. Unique, patented skincare system. They want to lower their taxes. What about guaranteed pay raise this year? We have the way to do it. There are simple systems in place to go and make that happen, okay? So I just want to set the stage for where I'm going with this, because as I'm making calls to my organization, as I'm making calls to new prospects or contacts or whatever you want to look at, I want you to know where my mindset is. My belief level is through the roof. My excitement level for what the new year is, it's without fail. It is unshakable. There's not a single person that can sit across from me and say, it's not a good thing. I will go down fighting to the end. knowing that USANA can and will change your life if they listen, if they apply, if they take action, if they're willing to be humble enough to go and learn and climb the mountain with me, right? All right. So here's the thing. A lot of times when we are grabbing a hold of our goals, we're setting our New Year's goals, and we're very anxious to go and get after it. We're wanting to get after it and go and do things. We do it with reckless abandonment, right? And I am very quick, even getting to the point of Ruby and doing those kind of things, that I want to go do it all on my own. But what I have learned over the years is the more that you can incorporate a teammate or an expert, maybe you're newer, you're the expert, I create so much more excitement, so much more validation, okay? There's only so much I can do by myself, right? I can only create so much fire if you want to think of it that way. But as you start to add additional people to the equation, you start to create that social proof, that value that I'm not the only one, and you have another aspect of edification, testimony, excitement, other stories that may relate to that individual, so there's endless possibilities of that, right? So here's my objective, and I am sold out on the idea of three-way calls, okay? You may have heard about that early on with the To Gold and Beyond series, maybe the advanced version of that, the new revision of To Gold and Beyond. Phenomenal resources on three-way calling, okay? So for those of you on the call today that have never done that, listen up, and I'm just going to start really to tip the iceberg for you on that, okay? I want you to understand the value and the power in that, okay? So who needs to experience this call from me right now this year? Because everything I'm talking to you about today, this is for your responsibility, okay? Who's actually going to capitalize on this? I'm going to be contacting current associates that are unplugged, they're on auto order, or they're unplugged, they're not focused, they need that kick in the butt to really get back on track with what they're going to be doing. Maybe they're off auto order, okay? That could be another individual. Those red hot prospects that I've been working on that I know they want to lose weight right now. They want to take advantage of these contests and the cash prizes and just the whole new year, new you philosophy. They're ready for that breakthrough. Maybe it's prospects that I believe that I failed with in the past. These are people that I feel like I screwed up, right? Prospects that are on that whale list or maybe a shark list, right? There's a new craze around Shark Tank. Those are the big iconic people, right? The ones that you want to add to your team that you believe. Their influence, their integrity, just their mindset is bigger than life. Maybe you've had that fear of talking to them. This applies to everybody. Every single person that I know right now is looking for change. They're looking to go to that next level in their life and looking for that breakthrough. So don't leave anybody out. There's not a better time in the year to take advantage of that than right here, right now, right? So I'm just going to give you a couple quick things just to start the conversation, because here's what I know. I believe that the people that are part of this organization are not out to get people. They're not out to scam people. They're not out to convince people to do something that will not impact their life. That's what I believe. Okay? So the objective that most people run into is they need that 10 seconds of unshakable confidence, right? They need to break through and just start the conversation, right? So maybe I'm calling a current or past associate. And here's exactly how I would say it. As I've got my other associate on the line or my expert, okay? In this case, I'm playing expert with my current and past associates. I'm grabbing a leader and I'm saying, for example, I'll call up Eric Luis. I'll say, Eric, I want to call every single person on your team that you believe wants to get active and take action right now, okay? So as we get on the phone, I'm going to say, look, immediately, these people know me. I don't need to be edified with them. They've experienced me. They understand me. First question, when you originally got involved in USANA, you wanted to go and spend more time with your family. You wanted to go and do this. You wanted to pay off that debt. You wanted to set yourself free. Do you still want to achieve that? That's it. You want to achieve it? Yes. Okay, I'm going to take you through some role-playing examples here in just a moment with Bulky to understand where I go and exactly what I say beyond that. But how many of you can have that conversation? Okay? If you've been around longer than a few months, you most likely have people that are in and out. Maybe they lost focus, the holidays came up. Dig into those people. Realign their focus. Help them to goal set. Help them to take action. Because everyone around them is ready to go and take action in their life and make a change, right? Maybe it's a new prospect, hot prospect, whale contact you haven't talked to because out of fear. If you stay in contact with these people, my philosophy is this. I am not going to invite a person to look at any information until I know they need to make a change in their life, whether it's to increase. Donald Trump wants to add additional income. He wants to increase more this year, right? That is a challenge for him. He needs to find another way to create another level of income. Everybody has something they're looking to improve, right? So John, the last time we spoke, you told me that you wanted to spend more time with your family. This is a prospect. Yes. Were you serious about changing that, or were you just blowing smoke? Were you just talking about it? That's the conversation starter. It's so simple. You don't need a crazy script. You just need to start the conversation, because if you can speak from your heart and speak from a personal testimony about the products that have changed your life, or changed your sponsor's life if you're brand new, or you've really plugged into these things and you heard the lifestyle stories from the Douglases, from the Ryans, from the Millers, from the Bogies, you understand these things. You can share that testimony. Early on, it's sharing other people's testimonies until you get that wow factor for yourself. Y'all getting this? Are y'all taking these notes? Because this was such a huge transition for me, was I was able to deflect to other people's stories early on. All right, so let's dig into this. I'm going to blaze through this really quick because Brian has already alluded to this. I just want you to know the things that are on my mind as I'm making calls to these these existing associates, or maybe those new prospects. I want to be talking about the New Year, New You event. I'm going to be talking about the Challenge You event, the power of an event that's in their backyard that they can maybe travel a couple states to. It is a life-changing, transformational event that people pay thousands of dollars to go to, and it's $59. Right? It's how you say it. It's not what you say. Raise your level of excitement just a little bit in these calls, and people will notice the difference in you. The other great things that take place that I'm going to show in this role play, the Monday Matters calls, the Saturday at homes like this. People, okay, so let's take a step back here. I want you to realize and go back to day one that you started your business. Maybe you're a brand new associate and you enrolled last night, so it's perfect for you. Let's go back in time for those of you that have been around. When you were first getting started, there's a certain level of fear that exists. There's a ton of excitement, there's a certain level of fear. The best thing that I can do for a new person is to illustrate the incredible amount of support, resources, technology that they can do from home if they're a busy person, or plug into when they're in the car, or whatever it may be. There's so many of these resources we can give to people to plug in and take them off that island that they're stranded on, right? To bring them into this culture that's so powerful, this Challenge You team that is so focused on empowering each other and taking each other to the next level. You've got to understand that. For example, this coming Monday, I have the incredible opportunity, the privilege, to be interviewing Diamond Director Mr. Brian Douglas. Okay, many of you know Brian. You've heard somewhat of his story, but here's the thing, guys, and I'm just going to give you a little bit because I don't want to take away from the power of Monday. Brian and Jennifer Douglas are celebrating 18 years of not having a job, not having employees, living an incredible lifestyle of total freedom. Okay? This is open to your prospects. It's going to be prospect friendly. It's going to be very driven towards what is life like if you step out and do something different. Okay? Another thing that I am on these calls promoting to every one of those people, they need to understand the value in this, right? All right, so let's dig in. Mr. Brian Bolke, can I get you to unmute yourself for me, please?
I'm here.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, so I'm going to kind of set it up. So first and foremost, we're going to go down and we're going to make a contact to, let me set it up. So I actually have selected a certain number of leaders within my team. I've been reaching out to them gradually over the past couple weeks or so. And what I'm offering to do is this. I want you to build a list of people that you want to reach out to that is either, like I said, inactive, unplugged, or whatever it may be, and I want to make calls to those people. So Brian is going to be that leader in my team that we are going to reignite some people, refocus them, recalibrate them for the new year. Okay? So Brian, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, right on. So Brian and I are calling up, and my objective in this call is to edify Brian like crazy and have him to be able to capitalize on the excitement that I have. And at the end, we'll kind of get a perspective on how Brian's feelings on that. So, Brian, who are we going to call?
We're going to call an old friend of mine named John.
Okay, so how long has John been in the business?
John's been in the role for about 6 months.
6 months, okay. So he got caught up in the holidays, I assume. Life kind of distracted him from buckling down on those goals, I assume, right?
Yeah, he got laid off, and he always knew about USANA, and he thought USANA was going to make him a millionaire after he lost his job. So he joined, and then, as I encouraged him, it's not going to work that way. So I think he just got discouraged. He loves the company, loves the product. He's just discouraged.
Right on. And I met John a few times, so fantastic. All right, so we're just gonna call John up. I'm gonna actually do my best to confirm that that's still a problem in his life. He wants to change it. He's ready to make some changes in 2015, and we'll move through it. Cool?
Yep.
All right. So ring ring. We got John on the phone. Hey John, it's Chris Harley. I also got Brian Bulke on the line. I am so excited about the new year. How are you, man?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
Doing great. Actually, you don't even have to. You're gonna be your associate, Brian. It's all good.
Maybe we should
John
unmute
actually
Douglas.
doesn't. Huh?
Let's
Yeah, let's unmute Douglas.
Hey, Douglas, if you're there, unmute yourself. Harl, I think you need to turn your speakers down because there's people are saying there's a little bit of an echo.
Okay. Is that better?
I think so.
Okay.
Is John there?
Yep, Douglas, you hear me?
Hi, John. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you're gonna be John. Just play along with me, okay?
Okay.
All right, John. So how are you doing? You got a moment to talk?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Awesome, awesome. Well, it's Chris Harley. I also got Brian Bulke on the line. We are so excited about the new year, and I just wanted to connect with you real quick and just kind of see how things are going. Obviously, everybody wants to improve this year versus last year. I know last year we spoke a few times, you and Brian and I know you had an objective of increasing your income. You had lost your job, and obviously it's very challenging in the market we live in today to be able to get that job that you ultimately want to have. So, do you still want to make those changes in your life?
Yeah, I do. I got a new job, but it's the same thing. It's the same deal where just another job. I still don't feel secure there, or don't make the money that I really think my time's worth to be away from my family.
John, I totally understand that, and you are not the only one. There's plenty of people around you I know that are experiencing the same exact thing. So here's what I want to share with you, John, because there is an explosion happening in this company. The things that I know that are coming down the pipe over the next 12 months are going to absolutely revolutionize the United States. It's going to revolutionize the world, and USANA is going to be a major impact in that. So my question for you is, are you serious about getting after it again this year? If not, that's okay. I don't want to convince you or push you, but we're taking off of this thing really fast out of the gates. And with the excitement of what I know is going on, I don't want you to miss out, and I want to give you the respect of reaching out and calling you to see if you're ready to do that.
I think your timing is pretty good. I just was going through my New Year's resolutions and goals and things like that, and I'm definitely ready for a change. I thought getting a different job or something would maybe solve the problem, but I'm in the same boat, so I need to do something different.
Beautiful, man. Well, I want to get together and map out some goals and do those kind of things. But here's what I want to set the stage for of what's here to come. So I know you're in San Antonio with us. So there is a major event coming next Saturday. It's a New Year, New You event with USANA is actually sending in some speakers. It's going to be a phenomenal event at the hotel. I'm going to get you the flyer on that. We'll talk through all the details with that. And then in February, we are flying in 10 of the most successful people I've ever met in my entire life in our backyard. You may have heard us talk about the major events we had years ago, 300, 400, 500 people. That is what is expected of this event. It's going to be a complete experiential learning opportunity for you to dive in and make immediate changes in your life. You said right now is the time. That is a perfect event for you to do that with. Man, in my opinion, it's worth thousands of dollars to go, and right now it's $59. So we need to get you registered for that immediately, and I'll walk you through that once we get done. Also, man, since you've been around, we got some incredible events going on. You can get on right from the comfort of your home, a Monday night training call that happens every single week. It's called Monday Matters because Monday is the kickoff to the week, and there's no better call for you to plug into than this coming Monday with my friend Brian Douglas. Just an incredible story. He actually has been jobless for 18 years due to this company, living a life of total freedom. It's absolutely phenomenal. And lastly, we have a Saturday training that actually takes place from home now. You can plug in with your laptop on the bed, get up, get your coffee, plug into it. It's absolutely incredible. You don't even have to go to the hotel to do that like in years past. So it's a phenomenal opportunity for you to plug in regardless of what's going on. Maybe you're traveling with your job or whatever it may be. So lots of resources for you that are new and really to paint that big picture with USANA. They got new contests being launched. Sexy Slim Down Challenge. I know you had some goals of losing some weight in the past. Would you like to win some big cash in the next 3 months?
Sure, why not? Man, you sound excited. I got to check out all these things you're talking about.
Well, we'll get together in person. We'll break all of it down. My goal today was just to find out who is serious this year that Brian and I can take along with us. And if that's you, then I'm excited for you, brother. When are you free next week to talk? Monday or Tuesday evening?
Sure. Definitely. Let's get together Monday evening.
Perfect. Okay, we'll get together Monday at 7 o'clock Central. Does that work?
Perfect. I'll make it work.
All right, awesome, man. We'll do that. Okay, so timeout. We'll get back to the training side of it. So, Bulky, watching this experience as the associate, what dynamics did you see that took place from a call like this? Because every single person on this call, this is your objective, to do what I did in the call. Work with your team and have those kind of conversations.
So what did I take from it from like the second party involved?
Yep.
Well, first of all, I'm motivated. Just to hear your voice, hear your excitement, hear your motivation, it obviously motivates. And I think a lot of associates, and especially myself, we forget what it's like to have a leader, somebody that we look up to, or somebody that we worked with in the past. What it's like to have them in our ear, and sometimes quite honestly, it can be sometimes a double-edged sword, because when you get into a comfort zone in your life that maybe there's a little bit of struggle with finances or job or health, but you kind of deal with it. You sometimes don't want to hear from that expert or that leader or that mentor in your life, because they're going to push you, and that's going to create more pain. And naturally, we're created to avoid pain, and so I think a lot of this is subconscious. And I know that for me, especially in the early on days, and even still a lot today, accountability and just getting on the phone with people that I know that are better than me. Get on the phone with you and just listen to you. Sometimes just talk to your excitement. But hearing these kind of perspectives that you have after the 2015 year, it's motivating, and I think it does a lot to your pheromones and all your chemical balances in your body. It just changes your whole perspective on everything that you're doing. So I think any new associate, any existing associate, just get on this call for a 3 to 5 minute call is going to be heavily motivated. And if you do this 8 to 10 times, I can't imagine the value of how people are going to feel.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And also, guys, this is a great opportunity to really edify where the team's going as a whole, the vision of your organization, whether it's 2, 5, 10, 100, it doesn't make a difference. Edifying your teammates, that's why I say it doesn't have to be your upline, right? It could be a crossline person. It doesn't really matter. If you're adding another person to the equation that you trust, that can bring a level of excitement that's going to realign this person's vision, because let's be real, let's back up. If a person ever joins you in your business, they actually added a little bit of a level of responsibility to you, right? It's you are their sponsor, or someone else on their team sponsored. If they went away, they have a dream, they have a goal. If they didn't achieve it yet, it's still living within them, and you have the ability to bring that back, especially at this time of year. So that's awesome. Let's do another one just like that, and I want you to realize that I really don't want to let you believe that every single person is going to say, "Oh man, that's awesome," even though I'm excited. So Douglas, let's do this again, and you're going to be the guy that doesn't really care right now.
All right.
Bulky, there?
I'm here. Let me start.
All right, Bulky, so let's call another person.
Okay, so we're going to call another Brian. He's just like me. But I will tell you, he's a little bit more on the negative side. This guy he's a tough cookie to crack, man. When he enrolled, he was the guy that did about a year's worth of research before he ever made a decision even to try a shake. He doesn't believe in stuff like this, but he did join, and I know he was excited. Let's see, how else can I set up Mr. Brian here? He does love people, but he can be grumpy from time to time, and he stresses out just a little bit. So I know that stress is a major factor in his life, but you're going to have fun with this one, so let's give him a shout.
Yeah, we can do that. And Brian, let me just kind of set an expectation for you, because I don't want you to think that everybody by doing these calls is going to be excited, and that's okay. I don't want to waste time, and I don't want to waste your time as well with people that need to be dragged across the finish line, right? Sure. My only goal is to give them the opportunity to be a part of this incredible thing that's going to go down in the next 3 to 6 months with us. Cool?
Okay.
All right. So we'll call him up. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. It's Chris Harrell. Also got Brian Bulky on the line. We haven't talked in a while. Do you have a moment to chat?
Who's this again?
Chris Harrell and Brian Bulky with USANA.
Oh, what's going on? What do you
I know
what?
it's been a while since we chatted. Obviously, the new year has come around, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to know about some of the great things happening. If you want to actually make a change this year and capitalize on some of the things that are in process as we speak right now,
You guys
that's
still
the
doing
exciting
that
thing
thing?
if you're ready to make a change. Um, Brian's got some incredible things happening in his life, and I did not want you to be able to miss out on that if you were ready. So, with that being said, I know in the past we talked about you really wanting to make some changes in your life. You're motivated just due to different circumstances, and for whatever reason, life got in the way and distractions did come up, and you did a ton of research on USANA, which actually made you to pull the trigger to go and make those changes in your life. Do you want to get serious this year with us?
Well, I'm always serious, but I don't know if I have time for this sort of thing.
Well, right on. Let me tell you what's coming down the pipe here in the next month. And if that's something that's exciting to you, then we can get together next week and meet and make some goals and stuff. Cool?
Yeah, I got a second, I guess, if you hurry.
All right, cool. So this coming Saturday, there's a phenomenal event in our backyard. Actually, USANA is actually flying in a medical professional in San Antonio. It's going to be phenomenal, along with other leaders in the local area. It's only a 3-hour event, but a great opportunity for you to get plugged in and realign with, obviously, what you want to accomplish for yourself in 2015. Beyond that, we've got other phenomenal events coming up in February. We've got 10 of the top most successful people I've ever met in my life coming in our backyard in San Antonio as well. A super valuable event, in my opinion, worth over $1,000 worth to attend. It's only $59. Okay, so we can talk more about that when we meet as well. But here's something important to you. We actually have 2 events that you can actually plug into on a regular basis. One on Monday evenings with your cell phone. I know you're a busy guy. Maybe you're in the car driving home from work, or you're just tied up with the kids. You just put them down for bed. You can plug into that from your actual cell phone, not needing to go anywhere, drive anywhere, or be anywhere. Phenomenal event this coming Monday with Brian Douglas. I know you probably remember him. He's a diamond director. Hasn't had a job in 18 years.
Sounds like a great
What
guy.
a phenomenal story. I'm going to be interviewing him. And then about every 2 months or so, we have a Saturday webcast training. Remember going to the hotel that one time for that Super Saturday event? You can plug into this from your home. Great resources for you to be able to plug in. But like I said from the beginning of the call, if you're not ready to make a change and you realize that for whatever reason you don't want to take part in this excitement that we got going on, that's cool too, because I do not want to push you. I don't convince you, because Brian and I are going to go like gangbusters this year and do something great, and I just wanted to give you that opportunity.
Well, can you put all this together in an email or something? Maybe send it to me. If I don't have anything better going on, maybe I'll show up.
No problem, man. Like I said from the beginning, we're not here to push you to get after it this year, but if you are ready to go, I'll get you those details. You're on that email thread that I have going with all the details of the events. If things change this year, don't hesitate to reach out to Brian. We'll reconnect and we'll set some goals. But with that being said, have a great week.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you, Brian.
Okay, so Bulky, different dynamic.
Hey, Harl, I actually think it's your speakers that are echoing really loud. I can hear myself when I speak, but anyways. So that's always tough, no matter what. I mean, especially for the role that I'm playing as an associate on your team. There's always 2 types of people, or one type of person like this in both categories, in the prospecting side and then the associate side. So everyone has prospects are like this that we consider, your chicken list, the ones that you're scared to contact for whatever reason. But you also have associates in your business that you maybe you did something wrong, right? Maybe you didn't follow through properly, and that actually created the bad taste. Or maybe you, for whatever reason, you just fell through an appointment or whatever. You never touched base with them again. That created a bad taste, and you just haven't talked to them since. So having people in the associate side that are, for some reason, deterred away from USANA, or they're just not as motivated as of right now. Whatever the case is, whether or not you caused it, whether or not it's just them, these people are always very difficult to have a conversation with. So I think my biggest question I would ask you is, what advice would you give a new person that has that fear? Yeah, that speaker is really still loud, Harl. I don't know if you can just turn your...
Hey, let me just... Bulky, Harl, I think this will help. So whoever's not talking, the other guys need to mute their microphone, even if you're toggling on and off, and that way they won't. I think you'll get rid of that feedback.
Yeah, there you go. So, what advice would you give to a new associate that's scared? Because overcoming that fear of talking to a chicken list prospect person, but also a chicken list in your associate base, what advice would you give those associates to overcome that fear? Is it just knowing that they're going to have the expert on the phone there to like pick them up and like help them out? Or if they get backed into a corner, they're going to have an expert there to kind of help them, give them a different perspective. Like, what advice would you give to encourage them to do something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be totally honest, there's going to be calls like that, and that's why I wanted to expose you all to the one that didn't go as planned, and that's okay. Being that I've been through this, I am the expert in the equation. That's okay. The new person will probably feel a little bummed out if they're the only one making the call. That's why I stress to you the power of the three-way call, because there are always things you can learn, whether it's a positive or a negative phone call. That goes without fail. There are things that you can tweak. There are things that maybe it's just not the right time for the person, like in this case. For whatever reason, in the new year, new you, all that kind of opportunity that month, Brian wasn't ready to make a change, and that's okay. Because the last thing that I want you to do is to be focused on dragging people when it is the greatest time of year to make change in your life. I mean, even the most negative person wants to make a change in their life, right? That's the reality. So those are the people that I'm looking for, whether it is the old associate, whether it is that new prospect. It's a very simple time to do that. But I showed you those illustrations of the logs on the fire, right? The more that you actually team up and do that, you're going to have those learning opportunities. So for me, my objective is to expose my teammates to that. If they go out on their own to do that, they don't get that coaching opportunity. They don't get that learning opportunity because it's a one-on-one scenario, okay? So from the beginning, my goal is to set that expectation with them. So if you were actually going out to your associates saying, let's call some of our old teammates, let's call some of your prospects that are on your list, it is your job to set that expectation. There are going to be people that don't want to right now. That's okay. You know, with what I know of what's coming in the few months over the coming year, that will change. I have people that took 5 years of prospecting and following up and presenting multiple times to that came around because it was their time. And if you realize that it's on their time, their circumstances, that they're going to be ready to move forward and get after it, your perspectives will shift. Your perspectives will change. For some people, there's nothing that you can do to change their mind in that moment. On the flip side of it, there are the people that are ready to take action. You could say everything wrong, and those people are ready to get going. I mean, for example, if I'm in a room of 50 people, and I am running around to every single one of those people and saying, you don't think you want life insurance, do you? That's not a very good prospecting for life insurance. But one of the people in the room is going to go, man, I really have got to have life insurance. I said it completely wrong, but that person's ready to make a change, right? So even if you say it wrong, the right person is going to be ready to take action. Your objective solely is to sift and sort and find the ones that are ready to get after it, because as you continue to do that, you're going to be adding more logs to that fire and more logs to that fire and more logs to that fire, and before you know it, you're going to have a raging fire. The only way that can take place, though, is if you're focused on the end of the prize, right? I heard it said, don't worry about the day-to-day results, just your day-to-day activities. Focus with the end goal in mind. That's why the goal setting and the vision writing is so critical. Because if you always are so caught up in the wins and losses every single day, you're going to get derailed. You're going to lose focus. You're not going to be able to maximize what this time of year can do for you. If you know for the fact, okay, if you worked on those ratios and you've taken advantage of the tools that we've all talked about all this time, and you know, okay, if I talk to 10 people, 4 people will sit down and look at information, whether it's in person or on video, and 1 or 2 of them will become a preferred customer or an associate. Maybe your ratios are different. It doesn't make a difference as long as you know what those are. If I know I go through 10, 1 or 2 do something and at least become a customer, I don't care if I get the win and loss every day. I do know that I need to go through the 10 to get the 1 or 2 so I can ultimately hit the end goal that's in mind, whether it be to pay off this debt or to take that vacation with my family or to quit the job or to whatever it may be. Maybe it's a health goal, okay? When you're moving through the journey of losing weight, right? We got the Sexy Slim Down Challenge going on. It does not make a difference what happens on a daily basis. We know that by eating McDonald's today, you're not going to see a major change. You do that every day for 30 days, 3 times a day, you will be very, very sick, right? If you make mistakes along the way, it's okay. Just make that legal U-turn and get back on path. It is a long-term game. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon, right? I'm building this for my kids as a willable business, okay? It doesn't matter what happened yesterday or today or tomorrow. I said I stay on track and follow those activities every single day. The comments that I have continued to see throughout Facebook over the life of my journey with USANA, the conversations I've had, people that will call me up in tears, crying to me saying, what did you give me? These products have absolutely changed my life. I have never felt better in the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I have watched people that have had such severe arthritis start to see movement again because they gave their body what it needs so their body could perform like it was supposed to for the last 20 years. And they're in tears. And I tell you what, if that associate that I just called was negative to me, and the next person I called was that preferred customer, that associate that said, man, I have not been around for a while, but I tell you what, these products have never failed me. They have absolutely changed my life. That made my week. That gave me another thing to call and talk about on the next phone call. You're looking for those little wins that are ultimately going to give you that championship, which is that end goal, that vision that you've been writing out and taking the time to do. It's an incredible opportunity, my friends, right now. There are people waiting and begging and praying for what you have. The more that you pull your team together, the more that you actually add those logs to that fire, it's just giving you a greater opportunity to win. Leveraging your expert, leveraging another teammate to create that dual excitement is so powerful for those individuals. So with that being said, I think I have just gone over my time, so
Hey,
I'm
Chris,
actually going to be
real quick, if I
turning my
could
time
say,
over to Mr.
Chris.
Bulky. Yep.
if I could say real quick, because you were so enthusiastic during that role play, I had a very hard time being negative, and I'm not a negative person, but I had to keep trying to remember what my role was supposed to be. I mean, you just sprung this on me, and I wasn't, prepared for it. But I'll just say your enthusiasm was contagious, and so I think even if you get to a negative person, and even if they handle it in a negative way, the way you handled it would get me thinking. After we hung up, I'd be thinking about that conversation. So don't think, even if someone's negative, that it didn't make an impact. Because there's no way a call like that can't make an impact.
Right, you're absolutely right. And one of the things that I've also learned is, and this is also through ministry that we live every day, and relationships in general, is if you can at least plant a seed, and this is kind of my visual that I have in my brain, anytime I'm talking to anybody, if I can make them think about me or a circumstance in their life that they want to change long after I leave, I made an impact. Because something is going to water that and fertilize that problem that's going to make them go, what am I doing? I have the ultimate lifeline, that raft, that I continue to puncture, and it's stopping me from going and fulfilling that life. And they've proven it because everybody's watching everything you do on Facebook. So as you continue on and you're willing to leave them behind, they're going to change. It's inevitable because we want to have somebody we can follow that's living and doing it and proving that it works. So, Brian, I'm glad you shared that. Thanks for bringing that up. All right, so we are down to our final speaker. I get the privilege of introducing to you my absolute best friend. He has done so many things for our family over the years. You all have known to love him and learn from him. He has now trained thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the world. He's an international speaker with USANA. This past year, they traveled so much to speak for USANA. It was awesome to watch and see the value that they're bringing not only to our backyard, but all over the country. It's just incredible. He has now been a two-time servant of the IDC. Just incredible. He and his wife Jacqueline have an incredible business. I've been able to watch them for, I guess, over 9 or 10 years now as they've transformed and continue to grow. And financially, they have mastered the compounding effect. They're doing the right thing over and over, setting them apart from the rest of the pack. And with that being said, I'm going to turn the time over to my friend, Emerald Director, Mr. Brian Bulky.
Rock on, dude. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Can you see my screen? Everything all right? I believe that's a yes. Okay, well, let's wrap up this morning. I hope you guys have had a great, fantastic morning. I know in San Antonio we're having a crazy cold spell, so it's been kind of nice to be able to hunker down in our home this morning and not have any reason to go outside. So, man, what a great call this morning. I know Douglas really set us off with a good tone. There's a lot of good things that are coming up for 2015, of course, but I got to tell you that I was fortunate enough as an Emerald director to be at that Diamond retreat because the IDC members were actually invited for that as well. And I gotta just echo some of the things that Brian said, that the next few coming months as well as next coming years are going to be very much of a milestone for USANA. It is it's a pretty exciting time, and for those of y'all that really know me, you've seen that excitement in our personal conversations and the masterminds that I do, the one-on-one or two-on-one trainings that I've done, and I'm just busting at the seams to be able to help you guys really get the understanding of what it means right now to really be buckling down and building your business. And Chris, man, that was a fantastic talk. I think a lot of people miss out on the importance of communication, and that's what I'm gonna just piggyback a little bit on what you talked about. Of course, we had planned this, and I'm gonna make it more. I'm gonna take it more to an aerial view. I'm gonna take it more to a 30,000 foot view, as opposed to the one-on-one or immediate application of what you do with your immediate associate or prospects like you covered. I'm gonna take it more from a team aerial view, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things that I do with my team from a marketing perspective, as well as a communication line, and how you create that better communication with your people. Because let's be honest, if you don't communicate with your people are going to be in a stagnant position, and I know that none of you guys want that. So I'm going to touch a lot on the importance of communication this morning, and I'm going to do this hopefully within a lot of time here. I got my timer rocking, so let's finish up this morning strong. Stay with us. I do want to just mention lastly before I get into this, if you guys didn't notice, I don't know if you can see the attendee list or not, but right up there at the peak of our call, we're at 98 callers this morning. And I got to let you know that if I don't know if you can see this, but we maxed out at 101. So we were 3 seats shy of maxing out this morning. I just want to use that as an opportunity to edify and validate these mornings. When we do these, we've been very consistent with them. This is only about our 3rd or 4th Saturday at home that we've done. And so as we continue with the new associates that join the business, I want to just remind you that waiting to the day before or the morning of to register for this event might get down the road where you might not be able to get in. I actually did receive a few texts this morning of people trying to get into the webcast and they couldn't. We were at 98. I don't know if we actually superseded 101 at one point. I didn't notice it. But I would hate for you and your teams to not be able to get on this call because you waited too long. So when you see those emails go out, when you see the updates for the Saturday at Homes, it's a real simple click of a button, type in your first and last name, email, hit submit. You're registered, you're in, you're locked in a seat, you're good to go. So just a little plug there for our Saturday at Homes. And things are really growing right now, especially coming into the new year. So I'm excited. So as Douglas mentioned, he had a new achiever. Well, listen, we had a brand new director last night, and I'm super excited to recognize this couple. Rita and Adam literally came on board in USANA less than 90 days ago. I think it was about 74 days ago or something. And from day one, they have just been very excited about USANA and the opportunity, what USANA has in their life. They're very health oriented. Rita actually is very active in the gym. She used to be a personal trainer. She's a pharmaceutical rep. Adam actually owns quite a few gyms in Mexico. I say quite a few, owns like 24 of them. And so he understands the world of fitness and wellness. And they were looking for a good company, a reputable company to incorporate USANA through their life and, of course, the lives of their members of their gym as well. And Rita knew of USANA years ago and got us connected. And I will tell you that it's been an absolute joy to work with this couple the last just couple months. They're, of course, brand new platinum pace setters. That was a goal of Adam's once he heard about it. There was no way he was going to miss that. I think he actually sponsored just over 10 associates with well over 5,000 points in orders. He was like, I'm not just going to make sure I hit that platinum pacer. I'm going to knock it out of the park. But their brand new directors, Zaslav, last night, and a little testament to Adam, he and his wife have a very successful business. I think their gyms generated about, well, I don't want to release any information, but well into multiple millions of dollars in revenue last year as a corporation. And although that success sometimes can go to people's heads, I just want to let you guys know that this is a true testament to what real successful people look for in life, and that's to remain humble and to remain teachable. That's one of the things I've noticed about this couple is no matter what their success has brought in their life and what they have done or where they've been, when they find a new opportunity, they're very teachable. And Adam and Rita have been very teachable through this process. It's been an absolute joy to work with this couple, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future. So congratulations to you guys. I was going to say, he actually texted me last night. He goes, I could go silver. And I said, Adam, that's fantastic, but let me tell you something. USANA doesn't reward the one-time, rank advancement. USANA is really focused on being consistent. And I said, all the new accolades, the recognition, the ranks, the trips, the prizes, all of these things are being really more focused towards the person that builds the solid business. I said, I know you could go silver, you could push, you can earn your first free entry. I know that's a real enticing thing to hit. I said, but I would hate for you to hit silver and then it'd be a $100 check next week and not be consistent. I said, I want you to have a consistent business. That's my focus. And I got a text from him about 11 o'clock last night. He says, Brian, I'm stopping at $780. I'm stopping right there because you said so. I got 2 guys I can enroll right now. I'm going to enroll them tomorrow so that I can build my auto orders consistently because you're right. I want to have a lifelong residual income that benefits my family forever, not one big paycheck. So I just want to give a major kudos to this new couple. Congratulations, guys. I'm looking forward to what you guys are going to do in the future. All right, so communication. Why is it so important? You guys have heard me say on the Money Matters call, for those of y'all that read our awesome Health and Freedom kickoff in San Antonio, I talked about my top priority and my goal this year for my team is communication, to improve and increase communication with my team. I think that's where a lot of people have felt a little bit of loss. They've maybe felt a little bit of betrayal, not because we haven't been active in building, it's because the communication hasn't been present enough. And I got to tell you that one of the biggest mistakes leaders make is if you don't communicate to your team is going to be lost, confused, unmotivated, stagnant. And so we've got to make some of these changes in our business. And I want to talk to you as leaders on some things that I personally do and some of the things that I teach my prospects or my personal projects that I'm working with that they can do to build their business as well. So there's simple things that fix major problems with communication. If you have associates that are not sponsoring, it's because they're not motivated. It's probably because they joined a business and they're looking at you, the motivator, the go-to person. They joined you and maybe they haven't heard from you in a while. So they're not motivated. You are that communication link, right? If you have associates that aren't growing, it's because of other relationships. They may be tapped out. They've gone from really engaged to just that level right beyond engaged. They still love the products. They still listen to all the voice calls. They get on the conference calls. They get on the webcasts. They read their emails, but they're not out prospecting actively. They're not out finding new customers. They're not out getting their health assessment into the hands of new prospects. And if you have associates that aren't plugged in, it's because they forgot the value of USANA. And they have, and it happens to all of us. We go through this up and down. There's a real roller coaster ride that everyone goes through, and it's not just in USANA. It's in life. It's in business and jobs and marriages and in ministry. It's everything that we do in our life. There's roller coasters, and we go through it in this business as well. And I want to remind you as leaders that it's your responsibility to motivate and stay connected to your team. It's not my responsibility to send out the emails to your team. It's not my responsibility to send out the text messages to your team. I provide those things as a bonus. And I want you guys to hear me very clearly that I'm going to talk to you this morning as I go through this on some things that you need to be doing for your people that take my things or your leaders' things that we're doing with our emails and our Saturday at homes or our text messages, and the things that we're doing for our system become phenomenal bonuses. So what can you be doing? The little things that fix major problems in your business. What can you be doing to really highlight and almost make a 1 + 1 = 3 type of equation in your business? So the little bit of effort that you do put into it starts to create those exponential results, right? I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but I'll tell you I am. That's why we've teamed up with Brian Douglas, Matt Ryan, Mike Miller, and Chris Harrell and I. We've teamed up to create that better leverage. So if you're not going to create it, plug into it. And plug into it like it's your own. Own it. Get excited about it. Text it out. Call your people. Talk about how valued the Saturday at home was. Promote this thing to the world, and especially to your team, so that they can get excited as well. Because it always happens. If Brian Bulkey's a 10 with excitement, and I'm motivated, and I'm fired up all the time, that next person I talk to is no way possible. Psychology will tell you, can they be a 10? Very, very, very rarely. If I'm a 10, will the person that I'm sharing my information with ever be an 11 or a 12 or beyond? It's very rare. Normally they're at least a 9, if not somewhere else below. So an 8, 7, or 6 on their level of excitement. So if the person that I'm communicating to is a 9, 8, or 7, you got to understand the next level below that is going to be a 6, 5, or 4. So if you don't have the communication, if you don't have the motivation, that person that I'm trying to communicate to is probably already a 4, and the person below them is maybe a 1 or maybe just a 0. So you can see how quickly the motivation, the excitement in our business deteriorates so fast. So I want you to understand that it's so valuable to incorporate this. But here's something very important. There's something new that's transitioning in USANA the last about 2 or 3 years. And people are creating teams, they're creating groups, which there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. I think identity in teams is very valuable. I want to speak very clearly to you about something that I feel very strongly about. If you're not a goal director and you're trying to establish a group Facebook page, a team web page, some of these things that create an identity in your team, don't get me wrong, I think some directors, bronze directors, silver directors can do this. I think there's a transition period between anything below director. Definitely, I would not suggest any of you doing this. At the level of director, bronze, or silver, there's a transition period. Gold and above, I would probably put 2 thumbs up on that. Ruby and above, absolutely. But I think creating your own identity and having to create your own Facebook page, your own email distribution center, your own websites. I think sometimes here's what happens, and I'm not taking credit or trying to boost an ego. I'm just here to tell you that, friends, listen, developing websites, managing Facebook pages, sending out constant emails, text announcements, setting these things up, making sure all this logistics is connected. It's a lot of work. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of busy work that sometimes I wish that as your business gets to that point, you don't have to do. But listen, I'm okay doing it because as an Emerald director, a lot of that, what I facilitate, pays me, right? There's hundreds of people that benefit off of this type of communication. So it helps for me to do this. So it's justified at my rank. I think at director, bronze, or silver, there's a little bit of an iffy question because let me give you a perspective. If you've ever been to a health and freedom presentation at a hotel where there's 400 people and you walk in and the energy is just electric and you can feel it. There's value there. There's an unspoken, unwritten value there that you cannot fake. If you go into a hotel presentation and there's 10 people there, we all know the difference in that emotion, right? So same thing goes with Facebook. It's kind of crazy, but Facebook has the ability to relay that same type of atmosphere. Because what people do in a group setting on Facebook, they'll look at how many members there are, how many people are communicating, how many people are posting. And if there's not enough, people start to then judge that as this isn't very active, this isn't very popular, it's not very cool, it's not the happening thing. And I think in some way of a turn can create a little bit of a negative perspective on USANA or on your business. Does that make sense? So I want you to understand that every one of your leaders has a Facebook page that they're either establishing right now for your groups or they already have established. And every single one of you on this call today is going to be getting updates after this webcast here in the near future about your private Facebook groups for your individual teams. Just like we have our texting groups for our individual groups, for our individual teams with the leadership, you're going to have your same Facebook groups as well. We have our own email distribution centers. That link of communication, the 5 of us have very much communicated heavily. We've debated this heavily, and I've been an advocate of this for a lot of years, especially with these 5 guys, is having this line of communication. And so we're working diligently on establishing this for all of you so you can create this atmosphere. So if you don't have to create it, if you have something to plug into, my suggestion is plug into it, because the masses, having a Facebook group of 400 plus, 100 plus is way better than having a Facebook group of 30 or 50. So I understand this transition. If you're in that transition stage and you're trying to get to that point, you've got 30, 40, 50 members, don't stop. Keep after it, because that's how you establish leadership. So it's good. But I just want to be really clear. I know I digressed a little bit on the information on there, but I want to be really clear on if you don't have to create it, plug into it and utilize these systems, because all these things create mass amount of community. And I think that's the biggest variable. What we're trying to create here is the community, right? So let me talk about what community looks like. One of the things I have done, and I've done heavily over the last about 3 years, is I have created our private Facebook group, not my private page, but a private Facebook group. And I'm going to give you an example of kind of what this looks like. This is what your leadership is going to establish for you, right? So this is on my Team Illuminate page. You can see here I've got quite a few pages that I manage, quite a few groups that I'm a part of. But this is the Illuminate Truth group that I'm a part of. I have 670 members that are active in my Facebook group. This is a private group that you guys can't be a part of unless one of the administrators, my Goals and Above, actually allows you to be a part of it, because this is my team. This is how I communicate. This is how I transition and I give updates, releases. I'll post something on here, or one of the leaders will, about the free BDSs coming up. We post all the things about Saturday at Homes. As you can see, Chris Harrell, 7 hours ago on this one, posted a deal about this past Thursday night, the photo of me presenting to the group, doing a presentation on health and freedom. As you can see, there were some comments down here about the event. So this is just some examples of what happens. Another thing that happens in this community is welcome aboards. We've trained our associates to use this avenue to welcome their new associates to the team. If you have new people that are joining our business and you're not recognizing them publicly, you're missing out on a huge opportunity, not for you, for your new person. So to give you an example, one of Adam's new associates, he said, it's an honor to welcome my dear friend Mary. And he goes through and explains to the people of our team, here's who she is. Here's how I know her. I'm proud to call her a true friend, and it's an honor to have her on our team. There's no doubt in my mind she will walk the stage and build a business in USANA. But let's, friends, look down here at the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3 comments that you see, and there's 8 more comments that were listed on here of people that were commenting and saying, welcome to the team. We're so excited to have you here. There's a lot of unity here. Looking forward to meeting you. Realize there's value here. And so if you're not commenting on these photos, do it. As your leadership creates your Facebook page, get engaged in this stuff. Don't be selfish. Don't say, oh, well, it's not my new person. Come on. Because when you actually have that new person join your team and you post it on here, man, you're going to want 30 people welcoming that person to that team. You want that atmosphere, that feel that we all know that USANA has, to be transitioned immediately into that new person that you just brought on board to your business. So playing team in this is so valuable. I cannot embrace the importance of not being selfish and instead really giving your all to the team in these moments. Here's another great example. It offers the opportunity. Here's Dr. Imran and 2 associates down in Corpus. Look at the date, January 1st, 8:47 a.m. Good for these guys. They put out a little post that morning and said, hey, we're going to have breakfast. And what are we doing? Starting the new year with a goal-setting session. These guys got up. 11 people saw this. I'm like, wow, imagine what your people will think. Those that stayed up too late, they rung in the new year the wrong way. They woke up, they slept until noon. They woke up, oh man, I'm so tired this morning. They get online, they check your group Facebook team page, and they see Dr. Imran and 2 associates that woke up and met at 8:47. Actually, that's when it was posted. So they were there by 8 a.m. and they're gonna say, wow, that's what I need to be doing. Man, okay, I gotta change. What am I doing? Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change this. Listen, there's so much value here, so much value, right? It allows you the opportunity to relay good information to your people. Here we talk about the Challenge U coming up, right? Look at the questions. People are asking questions, or they're saying, hey, I'll go get registered. Hey, how do I register? This powerful event that's coming up. All these communication links that you can't just have on a phone call or via text. As you can start to see, this is building the value, and people like the post. They comment on the post. There's value here. But lastly, I want to bring to you, I think this just happened last night, something that cannot be relayed anywhere else. It just can't. Well, I take that back. The only place it really can be relayed is in person and in a group setting, like in a big meeting on stage. Last night, Adam, our new director, posted this. He says, highlight of the year. And Adam, you posted on Facebook, so it's free for everybody, right? Talked to my mother today about how she was feeling from her health pack. She became an associate in November. She said, it's amazing. I can't believe it. I haven't felt like this in 10 years. Instead of thinking about project I can do, I'm actually getting up and doing them. See, it's like our leader, Brian Bolke, says, you don't go out and sell USANA. You go out and give your testimony and people ask to buy it. Friends, I read this last night. I'm like, you know what? There's always funny ways that God has of reminding you subtly that the real priority of what we're supposed to be doing is not about us. It is so tempting and so easy for all of us to fall into this dynamic of me. What's my paycheck? I didn't sponsor anybody. I feel embarrassed. I don't want to go to the event. If I show up, they're going to ask me where I've been. Who cares? See, what we forget is the opportunity that Dr. Wentz has allowed us to be involved in his company. He did not have to do this business this way. He could have done it like he did at Go Laboratories, a pharmaceutical research corporation that just manufactures products that are stocked on the shelves at doctors' offices. He could have. But he made it a point to go against the grain. He risked his medical reputation to get into the network marketing industry. He didn't even know what that meant when he decided to go this way. He did it because what he was told about network marketing was this, that there's value in people, and that your people are going to be your best advocates of your product because your product changes people's lives. That's why he went this route. So if you're on this webcast this morning and you're at this point in your business or in your life, and you're hesitant, you're questioning your commitment, let me tell you something. Get over yourself. It's not about you. I want you to realize that there was a moment in your business, in a journey in your life, when you joined USANA. Maybe you went to a convention, you went to a big event, you got on a conference call, whatever it was. There was a moment, and every single one of you know it, where deep down you had this like pure sense of excitement and joy about the opportunity that you have in your hands with this company. I want you to go back to that moment. I want you to go back to the time when you felt that way. Do not allow the lack of your commitment. Do not allow the lack of your paychecks. Do not allow whatever variables have happened between then and this moment today. I want you to go back to that moment and think about how positive of a time that was in your life and the excitement and the hope that you had for the future of your life and the people that you cared about. And I want you to remind yourself of this one thing. USANA has not changed. The products have not changed. The opportunity has not changed. You may have changed, but the same thing exists when that emotion of so much positivity happened in your life with USANA. It's still the same company, if not better. And that's why I'm excited about 2015, because I'm telling you guys, in about the next few months, there's going to be things you're going to see that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You're going to get re-energized. I want you guys to take the time to reevaluate your goals. Go read Dr. Wentz's Invisible Miracles book again. Do whatever you got to do. Go watch a YouTube video go watch Under the Microscope about Dr. Wentz. Go do whatever you have to do to put back the seeds in your mind and in your spirit of why you started this in the first place. Because as Adam said here, and he shows, his mother is having a personal, life-changing experience on these products. And we allow ourselves, for some crazy reason, to stop talking to people and helping because our checks aren't big enough, or we feel ashamed about our past or our prospecting. Come on. It's not about that. It's way bigger than this. All right? I love what Mark Twain says. The secret to getting ahead is just getting started. I mean, perfect, right? So what can you do? First and foremost, I want to make a quick reminder. Okay, a couple updates here. For the Remind app that we all have for our teams. For mine, you guys all know the at and the TI events. You got Douglas has his own, Harl, Mike, everyone has their own following texting app. The phone number has changed. We've actually gone to a short code, which is like muy bueno. It's awesome because it's easy to remember. It's 81010. So now for every one of your new associates that joins the business, you just simply tell them to text the at symbol message, whatever your group message is, to the number 81010 and hit send, and it's done. Super easy. Just a quick update there on that. I want to talk about the power of culture. Talking about the Facebook groups, talking about these communities with the events that are going all over the United States right now. Every single one of you on this call has an event somewhere in your local area to plug into. You might have to drive an hour or two, but hey, I'm telling you, it's worth it. The power of culture changes the dynamic of how people react to the situations that they're in, and it changes the reaction to the situation they're in a manner that you have no power over. And it also does it in a manner that you can never recreate yourself. There is no way possible an individual can create the same amount of energy and deliver the same message that a group of people can do. So plugging into events, showing up to the events. I had a lady from New Braunfels this past Thursday at Health and Freedom show up. She drove in. It was really cold that night. I haven't seen her in probably over a year. And she made it a point to come say hi to me. I recognized her. She goes, oh, you probably don't remember me. I was like, of course I remember you. I was like, Jenny, how you doing? I gave her a big old hug, and I said, how are you? She says, well, I was supposed to have a friend of mine. My only associate was supposed to come with me tonight, and her daughter got sick. And she goes, I was this close to just staying home. And she goes, but I got on a call a couple Mondays ago, and she goes that the Monday Matters was talking about the power of events and plugging in, and I just was going over and over and over in my head again. And I just said, no, you know what? I've got to go. I got to put my clothes on. I got to put my jacket on. I got to go start my car. I got to just do every little step just to get there in hopes that I'll feel better when I leave. And she goes, being here at this event and watching this seminar, she goes, I am so glad personally, internally, that I'm here. She goes, I cannot express to you why I am so proud of myself for just getting here, because I feel so much better about my future. Again, it just happens over and over and over again. I feel so much better. And I said, well, how's your new associate? She goes, she went to convention with me by herself last year because I had a 4-month-old. I couldn't go. So she's excited. Her daughter just got sick. I said, fantastic. We have an event coming up in 2 weeks. She goes, we're both going to be there. How many of your people would experience that emotion and at the next event have 4 or 5 of their associates there? Friends, this is how we build our business. Let's create that culture. So my question to you is this. What did you do last month in your business? Step up or shut up. Let's be real. Have you created some team conference calls? Have you done the things we've talked about on a Monday Matters? If one of your leaders says to you, hey, when's your next leadership call? Not the Monday Matters call. When's your next leadership call? When am I plugging into your team call? When are you going to teach me the things that I need to know on an intimate level? Because the Monday Matters are great, but we can only get as intimate as we possibly can with over 100 people on a phone call, right? You guys need to be establishing your own calls. Do them on a Tuesday night, on a Sunday night. Do them whenever. It can be 15, 20 minutes. I was doing this as a builder. I would have 4 people sometimes on my Sunday night calls that I would do. But you know what I would do? I'd say hi, get them excited, get them motivated, say, here's what's coming up. Don't miss Monday Matters. Don't do this. I would just, whatever was coming up that week, I'd promote it. You need to be doing that. Do not let your own selfish perspective or your own ego of, well, if I do my own call, I might have like 4 people on it. I'm not going to do that. That's embarrassing. No, it's not. It's called entrepreneurship. It's called starting. It's called doing something to get moving. It's inspiring for your new associates to see you step into that element of, I know I'm just getting going, but I'm going to own it like I deserve to be a diamond. Because diamonds do conference calls. And although I don't have 100 people on my call right now, I got 4. Before I get to 6, I got to have 4. Before I get to 8, I got to have 4. Before I get to 50, I got to have 4. You got to start somewhere. So what'd you do last month? I'm going to give you guys all of this. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. I'm going to send it on the email list. I'm going to send it out to the texting group. Every one of your leaders is going to have it. This is a welcome aboard email that I personally send out to every one of my new associates that comes on board. It gives them just a little bit of my example of it's all about duplication. Here's a short video to watch immediately. Log into USANA. Here's some contact numbers to save. Here's a 3-step system. Go through your apprentice, etc. I'm going to shoot this out to all of you so you don't have to worry about reading it or writing it down. This is valuable, and here's why. When someone joins your business and immediately they get the email that says, welcome to USANA, here's your ID number. They go, okay, fantastic. Woohoo, I'm in USANA. What does that mean? What do I do now? Right? And for most people, they wait till they get their product 3, 4, 5 days later, or they wait for their upline sponsor to call them to set up a 1-hour game plan meeting 3, 4, 5 days later when schedules allow. So there's a window of very critical time. Because if that person, that new associate, opens their mouth to a family member, to a spouse, to a neighbor, says, I'm starting something new I'm really excited about, it takes that one person to say, oh, those things don't work. Oh, you're crazy. And they have no idea what USANA is. They have no idea why this person even joined USANA. It could have been just for the health. But the world has a way of knocking you down. And I think it's so critical the moment that new associates enroll that they get something to start to build that value and that belief system in USANA. That short video right there is perfect to do it. First thing, go watch this video. Go log into USANA. Start doing some activities to start to build those values. And then create those welcome aboard calls. How many of you, if you don't know about welcome aboard calls, that's okay. If you do and you're not doing them, shame on you. I just literally did about 4 of these welcome aboard calls for Adam this past week for 4 of his new associates. And all of them are fantastic. Every time I do a welcome aboard call, the associate calls me back and says, hey, I'm motivated as all get out, man. I'm so pumped. Every time I hear you talk to one of my associates, man, it just gets me so excited to hear your voice. There's value there. I want to encourage you to remind you to do those things. What are you going to do different in 2015? Have you written your goals down? Have you put some priorities in your life? Have you made a commitment to attend those events? Have you said without a shadow of doubt, there is nothing that's going to stop me from making my business this year save my health or save my finances? Because it's been now 3 years I've been involved with USANA. It's been 5 years I've been involved with USANA. I'm at the same rank. I've only increased my income $5,000, whatever it is. What are you going to do different? Because I'll tell you right now, I am committed, and every one of your leaders are committed to increase and improve communication and to increase and better the events that are available to you. Challenge U is going to be one of the most powerful events any of you will ever attend in your entire life. I promise you. We had people at the Utah event say this was more impactful than convention itself. Not because convention's not great, and not because I'm telling you to go to ours instead of convention, because there's things convention does that there's no way we can ever do. The difference is we're more intimately able to talk to the individual than convention can. I want to remind you right now, just like on this event, just like on Thursday night, a ton of people showed up on Thursday night. We had almost 20 guests at our Health and Freedom. That's phenomenal to kick off our New Year's. That's incredible. 20 new people. First event of the year came to look at USANA for the first time. Man, that fires me up. We're almost maxing out our Saturday home. First Saturday of the year. We have New Year, New You's going all over the world. Those are going to be maxed out. I'm telling you, Challenge U is going to be sold out. We can only hold about 250 people. And those tickets are selling like hotcakes right now. Friends, listen, you guys are my priority. There are people that are going to Challenge U from other teams all across the United States. I've already heard of promotion to other teams. I don't mind helping everybody. Don't hear me wrong. But you guys are my priority. Every one of you on this call this morning, you guys are my priority. And I would hate to get to a situation where we are just out of seats because there was a lack of promotion on your side. You got to pick up the phone. I'll do any phone call with you. Chris will do any phone call with you. Matt Ryan will do any phone call with you. Mike Miller will do any phone call with you. Brian Douglas, Gina Hunter, Cindy Arias, Linda Duke, Linda Watts. It don't matter who you are. Mike Ward, there's so many people that are willing to help you do something to get your business moving forward. So do it. Go buy your ticket today. ChallengeUEvents.com. Why in the world would you wait till tomorrow, except for the fact that you allow that subconscious in your brain or that conscious mind say, I'll do it later? Friends, that is the first problem of people that are unsuccessful is procrastination. You have to do it now. As Mark Twain says, the first step to success is just getting started, just doing the action. What getting started looks like in Challenge U is going to Challenge U events and clicking, I want to buy a ticket. Go right now. You're online. You have no excuse. I have a whole list of every one of your names that's on Saturday at Home this morning. Every single one of you is hearing my voice right now telling you if you're committed and you want me to know that you're committed, you need to go buy a ticket today. Am I kicking a dead horse? Absolutely. Friends, because I'm telling you, there's nothing more important right now in your life and in your business than to attend events like this that are going to help motivate you and your people. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And I do it because I love you deeply. I really do. I know I think I want to live over in time here. I did. That's just my style, I guess. Listen, I hope this was a valuable morning. I know that 2015 for a lot of you is a year of hope and a year of change. I know 2014 for a lot of you was a year of pain, a year of loss, a year of heartache, of job loss, financial problems, marital problems, children problems. I'm going to tell you right now, the Lord knows, and He tells you nothing is consistent there. That's not what He asked in your life. That's not what He commits to have you partaken in your future. The difference is you have the free will and the choice to do whatever you want with it. And you are in a situation right now with this type of team, this type of unity, that we are going to be a new beast and a new idea and a new concept and just a whole new level of excitement inside the next 12 months. The next 12 months are so exciting. And I want you guys to remind yourself daily when you do your goals, put at the top of your goals, my point in my life is to make people better. Because that's what we're here to do. Make people better. Go register for Challenge U events. Thank you, Douglas, this morning for your talk. Chris Harrell, you knocked it out of the park. I hope this, guys, was very much of value. Monday night, Chris Harrell is going to be interviewing Brian Douglas. If I can edify one thing about this call for prospects, use this opportunity for guests. If you knew Brian Douglas like I know Brian Douglas, this man is a man of like pure integrity. He is one of the guys that I know for a fact, if I ever needed help, questions, no matter what, he's not just pure integrity, but he's of solid foundation. And it's very rare in this world that you ever come across people that have a good mixture of both. Family, father, husband, spiritual life, leadership, business, success. He's got it all, and he's found an incredible balance to do so. He is one of the less than 1% of the world of people that I would ever trust with any advice now in my life. So I will tell you that if you have prospects, this is the type of guy that you're going to want to have them hear what USANA really means, because his message will not be about money. His message will be about people, and it will be one of the best messages that any prospect will ever be able to hear. So plug in on Monday, attend your New Year, New You events. Looking forward to our Health and Freedom February 3rd in San Antonio. Other Health and Freedoms I know that are going on around the country, as well as our Challenge U coming in San Antonio. Go register. I love you guys. Have a fantastic week. And we will talk to you guys Monday night. You have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.